See this image behind me? Dates back to 1531, December 12th was when it was first seen. It comes from Guadalupe, Mexico City, this hill. Quick story, he was a peasant guy. He was passing by, and he happened to hear bird song. It was a bleak time of year in Mexico City. You don't hear birds. He looked up there, heard his name being called, Juan. His name was Juan Diego, and saw this golden mist. And out of the mist came a woman who then addressed him. Well, this freaked him out. I mean, he was really fearful. Ended up telling the bishop about it. Well, the bishop wanted a sign to prove it was true. And on December 12th, he was passing by this hill again, a few days after he first saw her. And there again she was. And even though he tried to avoid her, she's coming down from the hill, and told him to go up to the top of the hill or where he first saw her, and there would be the sign he wanted. And he went up there, and even though it was a day that was tinged with frost, again, this time of year, there were these Castile roses in full bloom, and he cut them, and he put them in this tilma he had. That's like a robe that he had in front of him, held it up, and went off to see the bishop. And when he got in front of the bishop, he opened it, the roses fell to the floor, and there was this image imprinted on his tilma. Agave cactus tilma. I mean, you can't paint on agave cactus. Not only that, but this thing has lasted since 1531, and agave cactus only lasts for 10 to 20 years. They tried to replicate this. Scientists will tell you who have looked closely at this that it's just like an image that is there, supernaturally inflected, because you can't see it from the other side. It's not absorbed into the fibers in any fashion whatsoever. It doesn't involve any pigment, any paint, any oil that we know of, nothing from plant, animal, mineral. Again, there's no explanation for it. And the colors are like what they call electra that you'll see in the coloration of a beetle or a butterfly, not any kind of color we can create with human hands. And there are other things about it. I mean, it survived an attempt back in the 1920s. A rebel tried to destroy it with dynamite, 29 sticks of dynamite right in front of it. Destroyed the altar, destroyed a crucifix and so forth, but didn't touch this image down in Mexico City. It's kept in a big basilica. I've been there 3 times. 3 times. And it goes on from there. There are stars on the robe. If you look, they're constellations, but they're constellations that would have been seen from outer space looking towards us on the other side, downward at us, as the stars would have appeared on December 12th, 1531. Exactly. Over Mexico City. In the eye, one of the eyes, the left eye, in this area made a note of it, this area that's 1/4 of a millionth of a millimeter, they found that there are 13 images, like silhouettes of people. One of them looks just like Juan Diego, the peasant. The other one looks just like a profile of the bishop and other people who were involved in this account. The eye itself is like a living eye. It curves. The images are like you would see with the curvature of a human eye. There's 3D dimensionality. You cannot replicate this. Again, you can't repeat it. You can't mimic it. Never dissolved. The image of Guadalupe, the most visited pilgrim site on earth, and the miracles are constant and continue.